Well, hi everybody and welcome to my channel. I'm Jennifer. This is A Country Life and this is seriously the most disorganized and unplanned YouTube video that I have ever done. I started the week. I'm coming in here actually right now. What you're seeing is me like a week into the video already. So I started the video and I thought we were going to do a clean with me, and I had kind of like a list of a lot of things that I wanted to get done over the course of about 3 days, and that was sort of the plan. Well, then life just happens and you don't get all the cleaning that you want done, and it is hard to film cleaning because I'm not always cleaning like from start to finish, you know, like a solid 1 hour or a solid 2 hours. Sometimes I'm doing other things, and then sometimes what happens is that I don't always have the ability to just run and grab the camera, or I probably have the ability. I just don't want to take the time because I'm going to just do like a quick wipe down of a bathroom, or I'm going to do a quick something. So anyway, you're going to see some clean with me in this video. In tandem, thought I was going to film a protein breakfasts of the week video, and I just kind of forgot. Like, I would film and then 2 days would go by and I would forget. I'm like, oh shoot, I didn't film that breakfast yesterday. And I'm like, do I try to reenact it? No, that would be silly. So you're gonna see a little bit of breakfasts in this video also. I also had planned on filming a meals of the week video. Did not film every single night of the week, which that's usually what I like to do, so you guys can get a real picture of just like real family meals. Sometimes it's out to eat, sometimes it's pizza, sometimes it's cereal, and sometimes it's actually like a full cooked, full on, you know, full blown meal. But I just would forget. And it's usually just because I'm getting busy, or the TV might be on and I think, well, I'll wait until the TV is off, then I'll do some filming, and then I just don't get to it. Or did I say I get a phone call and then I'm on the phone while I'm trying to make supper, and you know, just real life here. And then I thought, well, maybe I'll start fresh, scrap all of that footage, and then just start and do like just kind of a full week in the life. And I filmed a little bit yesterday, and that's where we are now. We are on Sunday, and I have just decided I'm putting this intro in, and I am just going to show you all of that. I'm going to just turn it into some sort of video. My faithful viewers will say to me, whatever you film, Jennifer, we don't mind. Well, let's just see if that's true. This is just, who knows? It's going to be a hodgepodge of everything. At the very end, there is something really, really special. You know, we have some weddings coming up in our family. So I took the camera along on one of our outings and filmed a little bit there, as much as I could show. And then you are going to see a rainy Sunday afternoon where I get into the kitchen and do some cooking. So if that sounds like something that you want to watch, then stick around. Here she goes. Let's get this meals of the week video started. I am making a cauliflower casserole for supper. Warren is out fishing. He's going to come in and grill steaks. He has those all seasoned and just kind of coming to room temperature right there. So I'm going to get my cauliflower chopped and into some boiling water and let that let it simmer for 5 to 10 minutes. I also need a little bit of chopped green and red pepper. And now I'm going to add in a 1/2 cup of sour cream. One cup of shredded cheese. Here's my pepper. Look at how pretty that looks. And then a 1/2 cup of crushed cornflakes. A teaspoon of salt. I'm going to add in some black pepper. I'm going to get this mixed up. I'll be adding the drained cauliflower in just a minute. Well, actually in about 2 minutes.
The front one is the flank steak.
The flank steak is the one up front?
Yeah, it's shrunk a lot.
Yeah, that probably. Well, Warren's at the Blackstone tonight making some steaks. We're hoping to have like leftovers, so we made 2 ribeye. That's the end, right?
Yeah.
End of the ribeye. A flank steak that I'm hoping to use, like, I mean, anyone can eat it, but I'm hoping to use that on some salads this week. and then 3 round steaks over there. So we'll see how this all kind of turns out. Sometimes round steak and flank steak, a little bit tougher. What do you guys hear in the background? It's the finale of American Idol tonight. We're so thrilled. So we are going to enjoy our supper as we watch American Idol. The cauliflower casserole came out. I sprinkled it with, I can't remember if I showed this on camera, but I sprinkled it with Parmesan cheese as well as just some regular paprika and put it in the oven 30 minutes. And yes, it's nice and soft. It smells good. It smells peppery, like green pepper, sweet pepper. I just love that, those smells all together. All right, this is a big plate of food here tonight. I think I'll manage though. I'm pretty hungry. Let's see your plate, Joe. Well, yours looks really good too. Wow. For tonight's supper, we are going to be having this Philly cheesesteak. I'm going to put it in the crock pot on low for 8 hours and add 2 cups of water. We'll serve that up on some kind of toasted bun for those who want that, or on lettuce and with provolone cheese. Make sure if you're using the crock pot liners that you seat your lid in there, because sometimes the liners in the smaller crock pots can get a little bit like wrinkled up, and if you don't have your lid seated in there, you know, you're going to lose a lot of heat. Good morning, everybody. It's 9:46 and I am getting ready to just work on cleaning the house here. Oh, mosquito in my eye. Oh my goodness, now it's buzzing in my ear. Oh, goodness. All right, that's what happens just when I'm starting to film, of course. Okay, so let's get the bed stripped and get those sheets into the wash here today. And then I also made a list of jobs for the kids to do. They're going to help with this cleaning today. It's a Monday. Did I say that to you guys already? I absolutely love Mondays. It feels like, I mean, in the olden days when I had a lot of little kids and things, you know, you just have weeks where things just were not going well, and maybe you feel like you yelled at them too much or whatever it might be, and you just maybe just had that feeling of not measuring up. Monday always felt like just a complete do-over. It was like, okay, here's a new week. We're going to begin the week. We're going to all have smiles on our faces and work very, very hard at being pleasant. I guess that's basically it, just being pleasant. Well, now we're not really at that point anymore where I have those difficult toddlers that are just always pulling on you. But I do have a 10 and 12 and 15-year-old here who they have their own little bickering and things like that. And Monday just always feels like such a good day to just do things, just to start over. Just to start over, refresh the whole house. With only 6 of us here compared to 9 of us, we don't make quite the mess. We don't create, obviously, quite as much laundry. We don't create quite as many dishes. And sometimes we can let things kind of go for a little bit. When you have 9 people in the house, you cannot let that go for more than 24 hours. Otherwise, the whole house is basically destroyed. And it takes a lot to get it back in order. Now, like I said, with 6 of us here, it seems like we can let things go a little bit more. And we do tend to do that over the weekend. There's not as much tidying up and putting things away the first time. Often I find myself not doing laundry or you know, getting on Joe's case to collect the laundry. Here it is Monday, and it's time to just really get things going. One thing I've learned when cleaning with kids is that make a list, give everybody something on that list, 1, 2, 3, whatever is appropriate for their age, something to do, And then double check, of course, always make sure if it's worth doing well. And so double check on their work. Keep bringing them back to doing that until it is finished, all the way to completion. That's such a good skill to have. I mean, now and of course later in life, to just finish something all the way to completion. And what I have learned is not to continue to add things to the list as they check things off, because that can be daunting to them. Here I am making a new list for another day of things that I've seen, like clean the microwave, dust their dressers and shelves, and scrub the front entry door and window. Those things will be for another day, but as we're cleaning and we're wrapping things up for today, I mean, as mom, there are always more things to clean. Even after you have cleaned, you always see things. Like today, I'm just noticing right now that even though I had on there dust the windowsills, I didn't say dust the sash. So the windowsills all got wiped down, but that top sash did not. And I can see a dead ladybug, and I can see dust. And so that is going to go onto my list for another day, because there's only so much that can be done in one day. So tonight, it's just Joe and me eating right now. I think the rest of the family will be home, but it might not be till quite a bit later, so we're eating. I put Joe's meat on a bun, and then he wanted even more meat. So this is what the meat is looking like. You gonna give that a little spin for me? No. And then he wanted to have applesauce and milk along with this. No cheese or anything on his Philly cheesesteak. Now for me, I'm just serving it with a piece of pepper jack on top. I'm gonna give it a minute for that pepper jack to melt down into the Philly cheesesteak. You can see kind of the meat has just sort of, it's just kind of like falling apart here. And then I also have the leftover cauliflower casserole. Now you guys, that cauliflower casserole is so good. If you like cauliflower, it sort of tastes to me like a macaroni and cheese, but just made with cauliflower instead of noodles, which I've made things like that before, but they were a lot more fuss. This wasn't as much fuss. It also reminds me of, I think it's in cookbook number 2. I have a recipe for a chicken noodle casserole. It has egg noodles and chicken, and I think a little mayo, and possibly, if I remember right, cream of chicken soup, and it has a little bit of red pepper and green pepper chopped up in that, and some onions. And it reminds me a lot of that too. So anyway, I think it's really, really good, and I'm happy to eat all of the leftovers alone. We've got some live product here. Warren's got some new things that he's going to be trying out.
So these are naturally occurring nematodes that, I mean, they're completely organic, and they're being basically raised to apply to cranberry beds that have trouble with flea beetle, because these nematodes will actually eat the flea beetle larva. Flea beetle hatches in August and is horrible on cranberry beds. These naturally occurring nematodes, so we got ice here.
Some bubbles.
And in this box there are 500 million nematodes. And these actually live in the soil. So these are applied to the soil of the cranberry beds in June when the flea beetle are in their larval stage, and the nematodes actually eat the flea beetle larva. So the idea is we're giving this a try this year. It's kind of expensive, but it's a completely organic control method to control flea beetle.
And it's just a new thing.
It's a new thing, and well, it is and it isn't. Nematodes have been around forever to be used as a way to deal with pests, but this is the first time that we've used them here to try to control flea beetle.
Sure.
So these all have to be refrigerated.
I see it's in a bag, so you can't even see it. Okay.
No.
Okay, well, it'll be interesting. You guys stay tuned, and when these get opened, I'll show you what there is. Into the fridge they go.
Yes.
Second day of the week here, and we actually did quite a bit of just sort of tidying, picking up, putting some things away. A lot of it wasn't on camera. The vacuum cleaner ended up smoking at the outlet. And so we had to just kind of put a kibosh on that and started to do a little bit of sweeping in that. And then we ended up with a really bad storm for the late afternoon and into the evening. And I think I actually just kind of sat down and did a whole lot of editing during the storm.
Together. Make the sauce.
Hey, whoa.
Are you a little hungry?
Yes, sir.
It's actually deer.
Oh, you got half a deer on your plate.
All right, well, we are having tacos/nachos tonight. Yeah, and Joe is having an entire hindquarter. Look at your plate.
Hey.
You're saying,
It takes a lot to keep this thing running.
To keep that running? All right, well, this is what it's looking like here for supper tonight, and Maria was just saying how she
made everything on my plate except the chips and the salsa.
Mm-hmm. She was shredding and chopping and all of it tonight. Yes. And what I like to do for the corn tortillas like this is I just turn on my gas stove at high, and I just keep flipping them back and forth until they get kind of black and charred a little bit on the edges, and it tastes really, really good. Wednesday now, and we got back from piano lessons and immediately, basically without even getting into the house, started in on cleaning the garage. There was just a lot of stuff in the way, and just, I mean, we all do it, but I do have to say that the majority of it is kids stuff, just people being in a hurry, not wanting to put things away where they actually go because they just want to move on to the next thing. So I dragged Peter into the garage, and we did a whole lot of picking up, putting away, reorganizing, putting things in its place, and then I did a big vacuuming because while we were in piano, Warren put a new plug on the vacuum cleaner, and I just thought that it would be a good idea to use it and vacuum in the garage first. And there is our cleaned up garage. Is it too much to add some sparkles to it? Tonight for supper, we are going to be making these shrimp. And so they're already seasoned. I picked these up at Aldi. I'm going to make all three. I was just preparing a tray to put them on so I can keep them separate so everybody knows like what flavors they are. We also are having leftover rice from our taco night the other night. Can't remember if I even shared that. And I just added a little water to this, and Peter's actually in charge of just stirring it around until all the kind of clumps break up and it gets nice and hot. We're also having some cucumbers, and there are some snap peas underneath there, and cottage cheese, and that is going to be supper here tonight. And this is kind of funny. I'm reading on the back just to see if they give some good instructions, and it says grill from thawed 30 seconds on each side. So I was like, oh, I better just make sure everything is ready, because once these go on, apparently it's only going to take a minute or so for them to be done. That looks beautiful, Maria. Thank you. Joe wants to show us his plate too. He took the chipotle and cucumbers. What about Peter? What's he going to take?
I'm building a plate.
And Warren, what are you going to take?
One of each.
One of each?
If they're available.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. I think there's one of each. This is the one I cannot wait to try. The citrus herb.
Citrus herb.
Mm-hmm. That sounds just delicious.
Sounds good.
Garlic butter and then
Chipotle.
Chipotle. Great. Looking forward to this so much.
And I
Yes.
got rice, citrus herb, chipotle, cumbers.
Cumbers. That's what we're calling them now,
Yeah.
just cumbers. Little cottage cheese to go with it. All right. Well, let's get a plate made and let's get over there and eat these shrimp.
So we're at Brandy's Bridal Galleria, I think.
Today's the day.
Gonna go wedding dress shopping.
This should be a good time.
Mm-hmm.
A couple. Yep, we've pulled a couple. Oh, I like this.
I know, I like that one.
That's really pretty. I love the feel of the fabric. It would be so easy to wear, you know. Which one? Oh, this right here? These are definitely more budget friendly, but they're completely plain, you know.
I'm like, maybe
But sometimes-
I like the idea of just a satin.
I know.
plain white.
Pull a plane, like a solid.
I was gonna say, did you pull one?
I think, I don't
Like
know.
literally
There was that pretty one that was on
this
like, I like
plunge.
the idea of this.
I saw that one. I thought that was beautiful, but it's strapless.
I know.
You were like, but I mean,
I just, because strapless stuff doesn't stay up
yeah,
on
it doesn't
me.
want to stay up.
Did you pull that sale one, Amber? That was.
I might have.
I think this one is so pretty. It's got just like a little dip right here. I think that's really classy.
I like the point right here.
Oh, you like that? Okay.
Okay. Yep. We gotta try a plain one.
I'm gonna go with the super plain one. Give that a try.
Oops, my hair
Whoops.
clip just dropped.
You can start walking.
Can we go get a picture?
Yeah. Yep. One more picture.
I gotta go back.
I know, now you want to go touch it. Now you want to touch it. See that wrap? That wrap is nice looking. Wow. That looks good with what is that?
Oh, there's
onion
bacon
ring on
there.
top.
Onion ring.
Oh,
Yeah,
looks
take
so
that bacon
good.
out. There we go. Holy smokes! Hold, Mom! Fuck!
On this very, very rainy Sunday, I am going to be making some chicken breast in the oven. I originally thought I would do this on the Blackstone with a different marinade, but here we are. It's pouring rain, and it's slated to rain until like 9 o'clock tonight. So here's what I'm doing. I have my chicken breast, and I've pounded it so it's real even. You know, this is what the chicken breast looks like. And then I just take the butt end of a mason jar. I just kind of pound on the thickest part of it until I get it basically kind of flattened out. It just takes about a minute per chicken breast, maybe not even. I usually hold the other end with my fingers, but I've got the camera going. I just kind of do that until it's even, because I just want it to be even. You know how a chicken breast, you get that one end that's real narrow and the other end that's the real thick end. I do that till it's even, place it in here. Once I have the chicken breast in here, I will put my seasonings on. So this is garlic powder, black pepper, seasoned salt, along with some just like chicken, garlic, and herb seasoning. And then I have some Parmesan cheese. So here's what I'll do. I'll season the chicken, and then I'm going to smear it with the Greek yogurt mayo mix, and then I'm going to top it with the Parmesan cheese. Put this in the oven at 375 degrees for about 45 minutes. A half a cup does not seem like enough. All right, so into the oven for 45 minutes at 375. All right, I am going to get Grandma's Apple Crisp ready to go into the oven so that as soon as the chicken comes out, this can be popped into the oven, because this needs to go at 350 degrees for about 40 minutes, so I can just turn the temp down a little bit. And don't be afraid. Look at how brown my apples are. That's okay. I let these thaw. These were frozen from last year's harvest, and I let them thaw in the refrigerator. It's fine. It's totally fine that they have browned. There's no big deal. Once they bake, they're going to be just delicious. You add a little cinnamon. Nobody knows that they have browned. They taste just the same. So don't be afraid of that. As they thawed, I had them in a container. Anything that juiced, I put all of that in here. All of that liquid went right in here. And then on the recipe where it says to add, I'm still going to add the 1/4 cup of water, because there's nothing wrong with a little bit of a juicy apple crisp. So this is the way my grandma always made it. No oatmeal, nothing fancy. It is just a little cinnamon sprinkled over the top, some salt sprinkled over. I'll pour over a little water, and then I will put together, what would my grandma always say? She would say, I think she would say pinch together. Is that what she would say? 3/4 cup of flour, 1 cup sugar, and 1/3 cup of butter. Rub. That's what she would always say. Rub it together. I will use my pastry blender and then put that crisp over the, and then put that topping over this. Set it aside. It will go in the oven when the chicken comes out. And on a rainy day, this is going to make the house smell just cozy. Just a little bit of salt. I always go less salt, so I know it says a 1/2 teaspoon of salt, but I always go a little less salt. after I get a couple of the dishes washed up here, I'm going to start putting together a corn salad. So this is sort of taco salad-ish. It's meatless. I have a large can of corn that I'm draining. I'm going to chop up a little bit, about a half a cup of green pepper. This is a new recipe I'm trying from a cookbook that I received from one of my subscribers, Carolyn. And then there's also about a half a cup of onion. It calls for purple onion, you know, red onion. I didn't have it. I bought one, but we must have used it. I think I used it when I made those smash burgers. Those burger bowls on the Blackstone. Anyway, so I'm just doing regular onion. Okay, I get the vegetables in and I realize that this bowl is definitely not going to be big enough. So yes, that is me transferring salad from one bowl to a bigger bowl, just like you saw me in another video recently when I think I was making potato salad. So then it's time to add in some shredded cheese. This is mild cheddar, and then 1 cup of mayo. I get this all stirred up. I want to take a little taste. There's no seasonings because at the end, when you serve this, you either stir it into the bowl or you let everybody top their own salad with those chili cheese. Is that what the flavor is? Chili cheese corn chips. And those are very flavorful, a little bit spicy. And so that is kind of where you're going to get all of your spices from. And if you don't want to serve it with chips, I think this could be just sprinkled in with a little bit of taco seasoning or just some salt and pepper. But I taste it. I do like the flavor. I do think it's going to be really good with the chips. Here's how the chicken turned out. 45 minutes. It was 180 degrees. Warren has served some up, some chicken, the corn salad, and then I just did some quick instant mashed potatoes to go along with supper tonight. Now, you can serve it, the salad, like I said, with the chili cheese chips. I guess Warren is not a fan of those chips, so he's just going to try the salad, which is going to be pretty bland because there's no seasonings in it. The chips add the seasoning, just like your life. Nice. Nice. So, all right, here's how it's turning out. Peter's going to give it a try, though. The salad with the chips, right?
I'm just doing this.
And you can break the chips up if you want, or you can just serve it right with it. Mix it in however you really would like to. All right, it's 10 o'clock now, and I just realized I completely forgot to film the apple crisp coming out of the oven before. This is what's left. So everybody said that it was good. Maria was working on French braiding and all kinds of things to my hair. That's why I look like this. But anyway, I wanted to just give a little update on the corn salad. I thought the corn salad was really good. It's definitely something that I look forward to eating again tomorrow. It does need a few of the chili cheese chips on it, though. Now, Warren had it without the chips. And what did you think?
It was good.
Without, I mean, he says it was good. It didn't have any salt or pepper.
No, I put salt and pepper.
Oh, you added salt and pepper. Okay, he added salt and pepper. So that probably would be the key, because I don't think that it would be very good. It'd be pretty bland without any kind of seasoning or anything. But, of course, I love peppers. I love onions. I love corn. So I figured it would be good. All right, that's going to be it. I hope that you guys enjoyed this whole long, very... I don't know if convoluted is the right word, but anyway, it was just a long, all over the place video. We'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.